All right, Shalom, giving all praises, honor, and glory to our power, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem, Rachak, Wadash, double honors to the apostles, the bishops, and the elders, a great millstone, peace and blessings to the hopeful elect of the tabernacles of David, scattered throughout the four corners of the earth, whomever you may be, wherever you may be. Shalom, Yasharallah, Shalom. All right, we're going to get into pretty much this response video. It was a link shared earlier from the brother. His page is GMS Kingdom Minded. So you subscribe and be edified. And this is from, I guess, probably where he originally linked it from. GMS Dedication. All right. Also subscribe and be edified. And so I'm just going to react to the video. Of course, hit some scriptures, which there's some scriptures in here within the video. Now I'm pretty sure the brother probably put in there through post-production or whatever. But we're gonna also, get a couple more scriptures, to add on, to the edification. All right. So but we're gonna play this video. Pretty much people having, dreams, all right, and so-called, visions or whatever you want to call it. All right. So let's go and play the video.
The Lord had shown me that the United States is going to be judged. My first dream was back in 2012. And I had this dream about 5 ships off the East Coast, and they launched nuclear missiles. And the strange thing is the missiles look like our own missiles being launched against our own cities.
As a matter of fact, let me pause it. Let me pause it right there, because he says in this dream, the missiles look like our own missiles. Okay. Oh yeah, I know what I was going to get. Yep. Let's go to Revelation chapter. Get him out the way. Actually, we'll slide him up there. All right. Let me get. Okay, here we go. Revelation chapter 17. Okay, because we know at the end of the day, what's going to happen is NATO and the EU is going to turn against Babylon the Great. All right, because Babylon the Great, America the West, is that mystery, that whore. All right, whereas it reads right here at the top of this chapter. Because John the Revelator says he carried me away in the spirit into the wilderness, and I saw a woman sit upon a scarlet-colored beast full of names of blasphemy, having 7 heads and 10 horns, which these are the vassal states, okay? Rome had their vassals. America has their vassals. We're talking about the NATO and the EU now. It says, and the woman was arrayed in purple and scarlet color and decked with gold and precious stones and pearls. And so long, the lie has been that America is the greatest place on earth. You can come here and be whatever, the American dream, and, many other things that are said about this place, all right? The greatest place on earth and all this land, land of the free, home of the brave, I think they say, and so on and so forth. And now in the time of the revealing, people are starting to find out that this so-called American dream was just that. It's a dream. It's a lie. All right. This place is not as great as it said it is, There's certain things that you can come here and do that you probably can't achieve in, some foreign country that where you came from. But when you come here and you see how terrible it is to live here. All right. And it says, having a golden cup in her hand full of abominations and filthiness of her fornication. And upon her forehead was a name written, Mystery Babylon the Great, the mother of harlots and abomination of the earth. And that's America, the West, okay? And I saw the woman drunken with the blood of the saints. Going back to that perpetual hatred. Amos 1, Obadiah 1, Genesis 40, well, you can say 40, not 40, 25 and 27, really. But really all that back history there, okay? 2 nations in the womb and so on and so forth, all right? Be separated at the bowels. All right, perpetual hatred they have for us. And with the blood of the martyrs of Yahweh Shah, all right, because those that have lost their lives in this truth, all right, in ancient times as martyrs, and those just, in the regular sense who just perished doing the work. And when I saw her, I wondered with great admiration. And when we jump back down to get to our point of what this guy said here, in verse, let me see, it started, let's just, let's get the point, down to the point. I mean, we're right here in the general area. So it says, the beast, in the verse 11, Revelation 17 and 11, and the beast that was, and is not, even he is the 8th, that is of the 7. The 7, as we always, we sound them off so often, all right? All, Edomite, I guess you want to call them empires or however you want to really term it. But, beginning with the Greeks, the Romans, Germanium Major, Germanium Minor, the French, the Spanish, and the British. Okay. So the eighth, that is of those seven we just mentioned, is talking about America, which came up by way of the Revolutionary War and so on and so forth. That history that they actually teach you in school, but they never teach you linking it with the Bible. They don't want you to know all of that. All right, that's prophetic or anything like that. All right, they just want to teach it. Like, yeah, we're badass. We did this. Okay, so on and so forth. But anyways, it says the beast that was and is not, even he's the eighth and is of the seven, and goes into perdition. All right, it says in the 10 horns which thou sawest are 10 kings which have received no kingdom as yet, but receive power as kings 1 hour with the beast. These have one mind, and shall give the power and strength unto the beast as vassal states. Okay. These shall make war with the Lamb, and the Lamb shall overcome them, for he is Lord of lords and King of kings, and they that are with him are called and chosen and faithful. And that's the hopefully elect remnant, beginning with 144,000 men. And he said unto me, the waters which thou sawest, where the whore sitteth, are peoples and multitudes and nations and tongues, because the great whore is pretty much in control of the earth right now, because this is their reign. This is their rulership. All the nations have had their reign, their time period, their age. This is the age of the Edomites. And this is also the last age of all the heathens before the kingdom of heaven is established. He says, under 10 horns, these vassal states, these so-called allies, all right, which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the whore. Okay, because the Lord is going to have some situation transpire where the NATO and the EU is going to say, to hell with you. All right. Hey, melt Babylon. All right. These shall hate the whore, and shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh, and burn her with fire. For the Most High had put it in their hearts to fulfill his will. Like it says in Proverbs 21:1, the king's heart is in the hand of the Lord, and as the rivers of water, he turneth it whithersoever he will. And it's beautiful because I'm thinking about another scripture, and we'll get it real quick. And to agree and give their kingdom unto the beast until the words of the Most High should be fulfilled. And the woman which thou sawest is that great city, which is Babylon the Great, which is the America of the West, which reigneth over the kings of the earth. All right, as pretty much the hammer of the earth right now. Okay, let me get one more. Beautiful. The water Yahushua. And Lord, will you be edified by this? Okay, because this really is most so on the on the fly, right? On the spirit is on you. Let's get it. Okay. Obadiah 1:7, all the men of thy confederacy have brought thee even to the border. The men that were at peace with thee have deceived thee and prevailed against thee. They that eat thy bread have laid a wound under thee. There is none understanding in him. Yeah, I'm going to carry it over to Revelation chapter 18, where she's going to be melted, talking about America. All right, so let's keep going.
So I don't know what that means. Maybe it means we trigger the attack on us, which right now, in the past, the Lord has told me that it was China, Russia, Iran has something to do with it, and North Korea. These missiles come in, and one hits Central Florida, one hits at the Capitol, near the Capitol building. That's where it goes off. And then one hits our financial district in New York City. One hits Central United States near Chicago. One hits Los Angeles City. One hits San Francisco City. And the last one hit Seattle near the water there.
Now, no one really knows exactly where anything is going to hit. He's just saying, speaking of what a dream he saw, because the scriptures speak about 200 million, where it's worded as 200,000. All right. But those are the missiles that are going to pummel Babylon the Great. All right. When she's melted by these heathen nations, including their allies. Right.
Somewhere near Seattle, like in the middle somehow. I dreamed this dream about this attack, and when I woke up, like in my spirit, I giggled and I said, what a crazy dream, And then I fell asleep and I dreamed it a second time. Only this time, at the end of the dream went the same way. The same cities were hit, everything. The Lord said to me in the dream this time, do you think it's a joke? Well, it's not. America will be judged. He said, I want you to write this down. So I wrote it. I woke up and I wrote it down. And then I fell asleep and I dreamed it a third time, the exact same dream. Then I had a dream about the monument to the destruction of the United States of America, and I saw this monument that was a great monument, and it showed the Twin Towers on fire and smoking. The Lord was telling me that America would be judged for their sins and that America would burn.
And that's, well, it's on the screen. Okay, yeah. For her sins are piled up as high as heaven, and the Most High remember her wicked ways. Treat her exactly as she treated you. Pay her back double for all she has done. And that's the Good News Translation. I was just wondering, but I see it at the top there. We're going to pick it up anyways because, get that KJV. All right. And that's beautiful because I actually didn't remember that scripture was up there. I don't know how I missed that one. But, hey, that was the spirit. All right. Grabbing that same scripture. But I do remember there's a couple other scriptures like from Ezra and Joel, I believe, that's up here. But I don't know how I missed that one. Revelation 18. But hey, like I said, we right on point with it. All right. So Revelation 18:5, for her sins have reached unto heaven, and the Most High hath remembered her iniquities. Reward her even as she rewarded you, and double unto her double according to her works, and the cup which she hath filled to her double. Okay? Because you can read on, well, I guess it's going down. Right? How much she hath glorified herself and lived deliciously, so much torment and sorrow give her, for she saith in her heart, I see the queen, and have no widow, and shall see no sorrow. And that lines up with other scriptures in other chapters by other prophets. All right? Therefore shall her plagues come in one day, death and mourning and famine, and she shall be utterly burned with fire, for strong is the Lord's power who judgeth her. And that's the nuclear missiles that are going to destroy this place. All right? Right, it says, I will send plagues upon thee, widowhood, poverty, famine, sword, and pestilence, to waste thy houses with destruction and death. All right, which lines up with what we just read there. Okay, therefore shall her plagues come in one day, death and mourning and famine, and she shall be utterly burned with fire. For strong is the Lord power who judgeth. Because through Jacob's trouble, or not through, but during the time period of Jacob's trouble, you're going to have all these things going on, man. Everything you read here. All right. Plagues in one day, death and mourning and famine. Okay. Widowhood, poverty, the sword, pestilence, to waste the houses with destruction and death. Okay. So these are all things that we're warning about that's about to meet these American people face to face, man. We're warning our people about it because we don't really care about everybody. It's just our people. Okay. But even 2/3 are going to be joined up with the everybody of America. Okay. As well as whoever may be across seas, but Babylon is that centerpiece. All right. It's the focus. Okay. It's the main course meal. All right. And so we're constantly warning our people about these things and that you are about to face, like it says, a time like no other, man. All right. From Daniel 12 to Jeremiah, 30? Okay. Jacob's trouble, a time like no other, man. Okay. Because after this, the kingdom of heaven is going to be established, a righteous kingdom with peace. So before up to that point, there was nothing like it on this planet. So we have no idea. I mean, we have an idea, but I mean, like in the physical, we have to get there to really see what the Lord is going to do on this planet, man. Wisdom of Solomon 17. All right. Newly created spirits and, or beasts and, apparitions and, Ecclesiastes 39, the spirits created for vengeance, newly created creatures breathing out fires and sparkles. And man, hey, but only thing we can do is warn our people. All right. Let's see what else we have here.
Good morning, family. How y'all doing?
And before also another thing to mention, man, because, and we're not going to sit here and judge, who's an Israelite, who's not an Israelite, but to make a point, sometimes the Lord will put it on an Israelite who's in the truth or who's not even in the truth. I have no idea what they're talking about, but it was somewhat of a prophetic dream or, something that, scare them. All right. Like I believe there's a lady, later on at the end. Okay. She's probably not in the truth. And then sometimes the Lord will, he'll pour his spirit, on a heathen, not because he's dealing with the heathen, but he's just trying to get a point across. All right. Let me get a couple things real quick before we continue the video. Let's get Proverbs 20:24. Proverbs 20 and 20 is in the way. 24. It says, man's goings are of the Lord Yahweh. All right. Man's goings are of Yahweh. How can a man then understand his own way? Similar to what we just quoted in Proverbs 21:1. The king's heart is in the hands of the Lord, and as the rivers of water, he turneth it whithersoever he will. Because everything's controlled by him on the left-hand side, just like everything is controlled by him on the right-hand side, all right? I make peace and create evil. I, the Lord, do all these things, okay? Like it says in Samuel, I believe it's 1 Samuel 2, all right? He bring it down to the grave and lift it up, all right? He make it rich and make it poor, so on and so forth, all right? It is the Lord that controls all things, man. Nothing is escaping the Lord, like he don't know about something going on or, you know, whatever the case may be, all right? But to continue making the point, let's hop over here to, here it is. All right, Job, I think I'm on 33, all right? Job 33 and 13 or 14, it says, "For the Most High speaketh once, yea, twice, yet man perceiveth it not. In a dream, in a vision of the night, when deep sleep falleth upon men, and slumberings upon the bed. Then he openeth the ears of men and sealeth their instructions." All right. Now, the Lord controls everything that you do. All right. The next day, if he plans on you waking up, even being here the next day, everything that you're going to do that day was already planned out last night when you slept, because he programmed you to do it when you woke up the next day. Okay. Now, on point with the topic we're talking about, you know, visions and dreams, like from Joel chapter 2, right? It says, "Then he openeth the ears of men and sealeth their instructions, that he may withdraw man from his purpose and hide pride from men." Okay. He keepeth back his soul from the pit and his life from perishing by the sword. All right. But to make the point, the Lord comes in the night. All right. So when you're sleeping, he's sealing your instructions. He also, if that be his will, can put a dream or a vision upon you. And it's not, and it doesn't have to always be an Israelite. Okay. Sometimes it can be an heathen. Not saying any of these are heathens or not heathens. I'm just making a point. Sometimes it could be a heathen, and what it does, it worries them, it troubles them, it plagues them, and we can prove that. I want Daniel. Let's go to Daniel 4. Nebuchadnezzar II, right? Here it is, Nebuchadnezzar 4. Daniel chapter 4, verse 4. "I, Nebuchadnezzar, was at rest in mine house and flourishing in my palace." All right, he had no worries, right? But what happened? "I saw a dream which made me afraid." You see, and this is what happens to not only just the heathens, the Israelites too, when they have these visions. All right, unless you're in the truth, then you're able to pray about it, and the Spirit might be able to, you know, to break it down, or someone else might give you a little, you know, insight of what you might have had dreamed, you know, had a vision about. All right, but in the world, all right, these people, you know, they have no idea what's going on, but the Lord is putting on their spirit to see a certain thing, to speak about it, for a purpose of the prophets to pick up on it. You see? So it says, "I saw a dream which made me afraid, and the thoughts upon my bed and the visions of my head troubled me." And that's what happens all the time with the heathens, though, because the heathens, they have no hope. So when the heathens are given some kind of prophetic type of thing, okay, they have no idea what's going on. It troubles them, just like with Nebuchadnezzar. All right, so that point is made there.
Video, I'm going to tell you all about a dream I had 2 nights ago, and so this is how the dream goes. I'll just get right to it. You know, I don't want to waste your time. In the dream, I was sleeping in my dream, and I wake up in my dream, and I'm looking out my window at my house, and I pick up my phone, and I see all these news bulletins on my phone from YouTube and friends, people trying to tell me, and I go and I look at my phone, and I start seeing that there is a major announcement by the United States government, and I see the president. But in this dream, it's President Trump again, and President Trump is holding a podium with the presidential seal on this podium, and he starts talking. And he has a blue suit on with a white shirt and a red tie, again, just like he always has. He usually wears, you know, but it was a really bright blue suit. But he was very somber in his face, and he said, "My fellow Americans," basically, he says, "I have an announcement to make. There's another virus." And he starts explaining to everybody that this virus is basically a new virus that is going to dwarf COVID, that made COVID look like it was a wimpy virus compared to what this new virus is. The death ratio was skyrocketing even more higher than COVID did. This started in Europe, which was interesting.
Okay, I got snubbed there. I got clipped there. We can try to keep it going.
this is the virus that I've warned you all about, and here it is. Here it comes. And I was thinking, in the dream, I'm not prepared enough. I need to get more supplies. He was calling for a major lockdown. He was calling for no flights, international, coming in or going out. He was telling everybody that we were going on another lockdown, like an extended lockdown for 20-some days to stop spread, because there were some cases in America that were here, and it was up north, east, and that he was taking the precautions as to lock everything down because of what was happening overseas. And so people were perishing, like I told you all, and they were they were obese people. I'm not sure, I just remember watching the news in the dream, and then when he made the announcement that we were going on lockdowns again in the dream, people panicked.
Now, a thing I found interesting when he talked about the obese people, I don't know why, mentioning obese people, but the thing that I did think about was, more than likely because, when you're obese, all right, and it makes it harder for you to breathe, okay? Because they can't get up and just go jog somewhere, exercise, go for a walk, or whatever the case may be. All right. So if anything hits let me try to be careful what I say. We'll just say anything that's respiratory, okay, and in their normal everyday, it's already hard for them to breathe. So anything hits their respiratory system, all right, it makes it triple harder for them to breathe because of all of the excess, fat and weight or whatever that they have on them. Okay. Now, I'm just thinking that, thinking as a man, thinking out loud, but because there could be some other deeper thing, all right, bodily issue or something else going on with, the so-called obese people. Why he mentioned that, but that's just what comes to my mind, because if they get hit with an illness, excuse me, it's because any kind of illness can make it harder for a person to breathe. But when you're obese, you're overweight, all right, it makes it triple harder, all right. So I don't know with that one. He's putting another scripture up.
And they were hitting the grocery stores. They were hitting the Walmart superstores, all of it. And they were wiping stuff out, like buying everything, that they could get their hands on in the dream. Like almost like people were in a panic because of what they had lived already. They were already knowing what was coming. So people were acting crazy in the grocery stores. Not just about toilet paper this time. It was about everything, chips, whatever they could get their hands on.
And a lot of people are going to, and just what I just mentioned, man, you're going to go out, try to fend for your family. And a lot of people are going to get deleted, all right? Because people are going to be wilding out like, man, nah, you got 10 of these, man. I can just get at least one. All I need is one, all right? And they were like, hey, man, look, because hey, like they show you in movies, man. This one person I'll be arguing with this one person. Let me just get one of them. Then another person like, damn, well, I need one too. Like, yeah, man, you got to come up off that, all right? And they end up, getting into a scuffle or whatever, and somebody might get deleted. It's going to be, so when the Lord talks about, the scriptures don't say it exactly, but we know what it really means, right? Bodies cast out as dung and so on and so forth. Hey, man, these grocery stores are going to be shut down. All right. Maybe they'll have, like evacuation teams come and clear out because they might use some of these stores, for certain facilities or not, because maybe they'll just be empty grocery stores, empty shelves and corpses lying around in these stores, man. But a lot of people are going to get deleted in these stores, outside these stores, in the parking lots and, different places, man. All right. When all hell breaks loose because they're unprepared. All right. Knowledge and wisdom shall be the stability of thy times. All right. The fear of the Lord is the strength of his treasure. Just roughly paraphrasing. Okay. And they don't know the fear of the Lord. All right. They're not listening to the prophet. They hear the prophets, but they're not listening to the prophets. All right. And now people are starting to get afraid. Okay, and what they thought was bullshit back in the days, now they realize, like, hold on, this Bible here is a little bit too much on point. So what people want to do is rush and run and buy the Bibles, but you're still not listening to the prophets, man. You're not going to understand the Bible simply because you went and bought one, okay?
Buying it and filling their buggies and whatever families were. It was that way for everything. And I remember in the dream, watching the news in the dream, it was such a weird dream.
And that's crazy because with the thing that happened in North Carolina with the Esau, right? Esau happened in North Carolina. Okay. There were people who were panic buying then, all right? Buying up all kinds of things, okay? And so And see these people walk around with their noses in the air, thinking they got it made because they got money. Oh, I got this, I got nice house, I got nice job, I ain't got no worries. All right, but when shit hit the fan and things shut down, hey, all that arrogance is gonna go out the window, man. Okay, and you might be one of those ones that get deleted at the grocery store when people are fighting over supplies. You see, because you know why? Because they don't trust in what the Lord says. They live in their arrogance, all right, their ignorance. But what the Lord says is a lot of people are about to die and be deleted. Okay. And so all this arrogance with these American people, okay, who walk around in their pride, all this is about to be shut down, man. Okay, they're about to be put in a spirit of disarray and you know not understanding what's going on. All right, some confused, some angry, some you know some of everything. All right.
With all the major news networks talking about this is a new virus, this is a new pandemic, and it dwarfs COVID, and they kept saying that in their speech. The death toll ratio is going to dwarf COVID, and basically that was.
And that's what he's hoping for: order out of chaos, man. All right, and don't let a crisis go to waste. Don't let a good crisis go to waste.
The dream, but I just remember feeling uneasy in my dream because of what the Lord had showed me prophetically already prior to the dream, warning you all. And so it was not a very, it was very eerie. So I just wanted to come on and tell you all that. I wanted to, you know, I know it's not that, you probably say, oh, it was just a dream. You know, I don't have dreams like that. I'm just telling you all, when the Lord talks to me, I know it. When I wake up and I remember things and he's speaking to me through that, it's like, here it is again. I'm warning you. And so, you know.
And that's why we read that Job 33:14. And we still have this Daniel 4 on the screen. I, Nebuchadnezzar, was at rest in mine house and flourishing in my palace. And I saw a dream which made me afraid. And the thoughts upon my bed and the visions of my head troubled me. You see?
I just felt, you know, I almost didn't even say anything about it, but I just felt like I should. You know, like I said, I'm a watchman. If you think this is pizza and you like to have...
And he's not a prophet, all right? He's just a guy that, you know, the Lord decided, I'm going to use this dude right here, all right? I'm going to get this dream on him, and, you know, I'm pretty sure the prophets will pick up on it, because that's what it's for anyways, for the prophets to pick up on it, okay? And
bad food that night, bad Chinese food or something. But the night before, which I don't eat that anyway, but you could take it and put it on a shelf or whatever. But I felt in my heart it was serious. It was serious enough to tell you all. And I thought it was cool because Trump was behind the pulpit. He was behind the podium talking. It wasn't Biden. And so that was interesting. And it was in the spring again. I could tell you this. I could see the leaves on the trees coming out again, and it was just like it was whenever they locked everything down with COVID in the spring, and they were doing it again. But like I said, this time it did not start in Asia. It started in Europe and England and all that area over there, France. It was already going on before, and so people were watching it. And then, like I said, he made the announcement. It looked like it was weeks prior, just like it was similar to.
And the thing is with these V's, okay, you can issue a lockdown. The thing is, even if you, because a lot of times they really don't, all right, but even if you were attempting to stop all flights here and there, you're not going to get everybody, because, and they show you this in different movies, man. Like they had the little monkey outbreak movie, I forget what it's called. There's different movies, you know, old movies that come out like this, all right. But yeah, you can't stop everybody, because someone who could be showing zero symptoms could get on the flight, come back to the States, or be leaving the States and go elsewhere, all right? Zero symptoms, and then get there, and then they're passing it on to other people. So there's really no stopping something if the Lord wants something to go global, there's really no stopping it, man, all right? Because everybody's not going to show symptoms, all right? Everybody's not going to come in, contact it, and then when you're getting on these planes, you got what? You got cabins of filtered air, or not really filtered, but recycled air inside of a single cabin. Everybody's basically breathing the same air recycled over and over and over, all right? And so it's going to spread on a flight easily. That's why you hear about whole entire flights of people, getting sick and falling ill and so on and so forth, because you're in a closed space where the circulation, all right, is, everybody's breathing in that small circulation of air, all right, through the ventilation system.
COVID. But I thought it was interesting that there was no flights. No flights. He said he was locking down all air traffic. There was no flights. And I don't know, I even perceived that they were even locking down even state-to-state travel, that they were not allowing people to travel with airplane state to state, which I think that would be over the top, but it's what I was seeing.
That's what the scripture says. It's right here. Second Ezra chapter 15. A man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able for, because of their pride. The city shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. Right? And the scriptures also
they were
speak
locking
about
down airplanes, people in closed areas, because it was an airborne virus. It was not a fluid.
Well, yeah, it says that the course of the action shall stand in their power. Okay. Like we always mention that, and where we mentioned that verse, like in the Batman 3 movie, okay, where Bane was giving that little heavy speech there, and it was riling up the people. He was basically, that was insurrection, where he's giving a flamboyant speech, all right, to rise up the people and rattle up the people's cages, okay, and get them, because he said, let's take back their city. Okay, you accept this man's recognition and all this, getting the people all, jolted up. Okay, and then they went for it. I mean, they went crazy, and there was one side against another, and that's exactly what's said in Second Ezra chapter 13, man. Okay, one people against another, and so on and so forth. Okay, one nation against another. All right, race wars, class wars, riots, robberies, and pillaging, and so on and so forth. And people are going to disregard their orders. All right. That's why that martial law is going to have to be pushed. Okay. Because even the local police, they're going to be overwhelmed. All right. It's one thing when you're dealing with certain crimes here and there, but when you're talking about a whole entire city going crazy, there's not enough police force to police that. And then you got to think about, they're going to be thinking about their own lives, and more so about their own lives. They're going to be thinking about their own, family and children and things of that nature. All right, so they're gonna, disregard their sworn-in duties. All right, to make sure that they get, because they're not gonna be out there trying to police the public, and then while they're at work trying to police everybody, they're not able to get what they need for their household. So they're gonna like, no, the hell with this. We're gonna be out there. We're gonna go get what we need. Okay, so there's gonna be no calling 911. All right, you're not gonna call the police station. Not gonna call an ambulance. Whatever. Okay, hospitals, man. Show you that a lot in the movies, man. Hospitals are going to be overwhelmed to the point where you've seen in the movies, like when a bomb goes off, and all of a sudden you just mass influx of people. There's multiple people in one room, multiple people in the hallway, multiple people in all in the corridors, all outside, and the hospitals are going to be overwhelmed to a point where they might even get shut down, or at least there's not going to be enough help to go around. And then you have to think about supplies being shortened. You see. So E, the left-hand side, E's setting up the perfect trap to make everybody want him. And the only ones who are going to deny him are the hopeful elect remnant. And Lord we are of that number, man. Because, man, you're going to need the Lord in these days, man.
It was airborne. Like I said, I'm not coming on to try to scare y'all. I come on here to warn you. And you can take it and pray over it with me. And it's heavy. Because I've been feeling it. Praying over things and interceding over what I've warned you about.
And we just put up a few, videos dealing with, watching this in China, okay, and some of our news clips here and there, whether it be world news or the current state. And something about how China is really trying to keep secret about it. Now, ain't that what they claimed they were doing before? All right, we didn't know where it was coming from. All right, who knows? Okay. No, hold on, wait. You see, I just said that. You see? I just said that. You see? They said that the hospitals are overwhelmed. Imagine wherever you live right now. Imagine your whole entire city. Not saying every single body, but the city's going crazy. Accidents are happening. Checkouts are happening. All right. Different things, or things may not, end in the deletion, but somebody's severely injured. All right. You have people, cars in the streets going crazy, so pedestrians might get hit. You know, you got dogs and animals, you know, animal shelters, because people, you know, because these people, you know, get crazy over the animals. Like, we love the animals, but, you know, some people go over the board with it, so they're going to be rushing to the animal shelters. Oh, my dog was, you know, whatever, all right? And then some people are going to be rushing to the hospital. The hospital is going to be overwhelmed. The telephone lines, whether they be on or off, doesn't really matter, because the help is not coming, okay? If you can't get to the hospital yourself, they're not going to be seeking to give you any help, because the ambulances, you know, the paramedics are going to be overwhelmed. All right. They're going to come to a point where they're going to have to worry about themselves and their family. You see, they show you these things in these movies all the time, man, because he always knew this was coming, because he's been planning things. OK, which is, of course, it goes back to the Lord on the left hand side. But, you know, he knows these things are coming because he's the one planning these things. And these things are not thrown into his movies randomly for theatrical value. OK. These are things that they know is going to someday happen, because they have to collapse this current society so they can bring in their NWO, all right? And bring in that digital age, that digital system. And we're looking forward to that CHIP coming, all right? Because that's the final major prophecy before, you know, that World War III goes in and comes to a head, and then the deliverance of the remnant, all right? But yeah, man. Everything and everybody's going to be overwhelmed, and there's going to be zero help. Your only help will be the hedge of protection from the Heavenly Father. You have angels camped around about those that fear him. If you don't have the hedge of protection, all right, you're going to get mowed down, all right? I sped it up for sake of time. I might speed it up again, because I know there's another lady that speaks at the end. Make sure it's still ticking. So as of now, right now, this thing right here is the new Google. And you know, if you've been watching the videos, you know what I mean when I say the Google. Okay. Yeah. Let's speed it up again. The scripture really come up. For with this time, so my praise upon thy heart and upon thy servants, upon thy people, that thou mayest know that there is none like me on the earth.
Okay, hey people, so I don't normally do this. I don't normally get on and tell people about dreams and visions and things that God has given me, but I really feel compelled that this is the season for me to start sharing with people the dreams and things that God gives me about things that are going to happen in the earth realm, things that are going to happen specifically here in the United States, and things that are happening or going to happen around the world. So let me tell you about a dream that I had. It was last week. I was laying in bed, I was asleep, and the Lord gave me a dream about these three people were running. And I remember specifically, it was two men and there was a lady. And the lady was an older lady, and the two men were like maybe middle-aged. So they were running from something, and they ran into this house that I happened to be in. And so when they came in, we were trying to hide them. And I remember it was me, and I know there were other people, but I can't remember who the other people were. So when they got into the house, I was like, oh my God, we have to hide them. So I remember moving like this chest or this bookcase or a dresser, and I moved it out of the way, and there was like this hidden passage behind the dresser. And I remember opening up the door and allowing all three of them to get in. And as they were, and when I opened up the door for them to go into this secret place, I remember very specifically, it looked like a government facility. And I don't know how, but you know, in the spirit realm, you know things. So they were going down the stairs. It was like this huge, it looked like a commercial warehouse, but there was nothing in it, and it was like a real light concrete. And the floor was concrete. The stairs were like commercial like stairs where you would go down into a facility. And I remember that very clearly. Had a banister on the left-hand side. Now, as they were going down the stairs, I told them, I said, listen, I'm going to hide you guys. I said, but do not go to the left and do not go into that tunnel. And I remember specifically telling them that. So as I was closing the door, I remember shifting in the dream, and I was in that corridor that I told them not to go into, and they went in it anyway. And when they went in it, I could see very clearly that they, I think it was a lady, I can't remember if it was, I know the ladies, I think it was one of the men, because I think it was two men, I know it was three of them. One of the men got attacked by this virus. Like, it was like, at the time I didn't know it was a virus, but it looked like this huge creature. It was like human size, but it was not, and it was weird looking. It was green, like a real deep green, and it looked like moss, but it was not moss, but it was like this walking creature. And I remember it specifically how it killed people is it liquefied their insides, and it slurped the guy up. So the lady and the man, they started running out the tunnel, and they were coming up the stairs. Now I shifted back, and now I was back on the stairs and back at the door. So they were at the door, and they were trying to get in. I said, no, I cannot let you back in here, guys. That thing, I'm not going to let that thing inside of this house. And I remember that very clearly. So this thing all of a sudden ran up on the lady and stood like right in front of her, and that thing was hideous looking. And I remember saying to to myself, oh my God, that's a virus. And it was human. It wasn't human form, but it was human height. It was a little taller than her. And I remember it was standing there doing like this, and it was getting ready to slurp her up. However, the guy was able to get inside. He was like trying to get in, and it was like a government facility doors. It was like there was a door where they were. There was just a space, and then there was the door to come to me, and then all of a sudden everything was glass. I could see very clearly. And I said, I can let him in, but I can't let you in. I said, because if I let you in, this is the lady, I'm telling the lady, I said, if I let you in, you're going to infect all of us. And the guy came through the double doors. I was able to let him in that middle door, and then I let him in into the back into the house. And I woke up. And I said, okay, Lord, what are you saying? And I meditated on it, I prayed on it, and I asked God for wisdom, insight, and understanding about what that dream meant. And the Lord was telling me that, I don't know if it's a government facility that's going to release it, I don't know who's going to release it, but there's going to be another virus. And it was specific, because at first I thought this was like this, I didn't know what the creature was. You know how sometimes you just think you're dreaming, but see, God gives me a lot of prophetic dreams, and I just, the Holy Spirit was just letting me know it's now time for you to start telling people your dreams, because I've had so many different dreams about Trump and Putin and things like that, and I am going to get right back on after I do this. I'm going to give you guys a dream that I had about New York City, and also the dream about Putin and China and Trump. I'm going to get back on right after I do this, but I'm going to label this dream a virus is coming. I don't know when it's going to come. I just remember the government facility. I don't know, maybe these were scientists. I don't know who these people were, but I just remember very clearly that thing had got that woman. She was an older lady, and I just remember specifically that I couldn't let her in because the virus was like right on her, right standing in front of her, ready to slurp her up or liquefy her insides. So, but anyway, guys, just know that God does give visions and dreams, and He does give revelation to many of His people. So anyway, I just want to share that with you guys. The Lord said He will pour out His Spirit upon all flesh in the latter days, and that's what's happening. So I have been getting dreams ever since I was a kid. I would share those dreams with my mother. My mother really didn't understand them because I didn't know who the Lord was at that time. But when God gives it, listen to Him, obey Him, and just be aware. And that's why I believe that the Lord had me create that e-learning plan, so that if they shut, because they're going to shut things down again, I'm telling you guys, so that our kids will be able to be online. But God reveals things at the point in time, and now is my time. I have to start sharing what God gave me, okay? But anyway, this is the platform that I'm using. You guys be blessed. I'm going to get right on right after this, and I'm going to share with you the dream that I had about New York City, Putin, and Trump.
That's that Joel chapter 2. And pretty much that's the end of the video. We don't really have anything else to say. You know, ending on the purpose. Right there, Joel chapter 2, man. All right. Okay, so that didn't come up, but yeah. Going back to what you mentioned. The things that the Lord can allow someone to see in a dream as a vision, all right, doesn't always have to be an Israelite. Okay, sometimes it could be just a heathen, but it's for sake of getting, a thing across, a point across, all right. And that's why that Joel 2, right? So, it's so fiery, all right, because the Lord can do whatever He wants, all right. Doesn't mean He's dealing with the heathens, all right. That's just how He chose to do the thing, all right. And even with Israelites, not all the Israelites are in the truth, all right. Sometimes there'll be people in the truth who have no idea what they're talking about. All right, they're just telling a dream that they had, and then other times it'll be individuals that are actually in the truth, and they can actually give some clarity to what it was that that they saw or someone else saw, right, in a dream, in the night, in a vision. All right, so that's pretty much it. Might be a little bit before I get this one uploaded, because we had that chop up in the middle, but we get it uploaded as soon as we can. So Lord willing, you edify us in this, and that's why I'm going to say shalom.